Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3-0 Take, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Oh, welcome back to the 3-0 Take, presented by SeatGeek. This is episode 450. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin.
Let's go.
Here with my co-host, Nate Reyes.
Let's go.
Nate. 450.
This feels good.
Well done. I don't even know why. I mean, if you really think about it, 450 isn't even like special of a number. It just sounds
for us, man. It is.
It's
for us.
round. It's clean.
It's a baseball number. You know what I'm saying? It's a baseball number we're going to see plenty of here tomorrow night live with us. So, you know what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah. First off, buddy, I love you. And I'm so proud of you for everything that you put into this thing, how much time and effort. And like,
wow.
I think I speak for the fans. You do an amazing job. I just sit here. I kind of hang out, talk shop, but I think everybody knows, man, you do an excellent job. You got us here. 450 is crazy. And
man,
to the freaking moon we go, baby. To the moon.
I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. But as I've said before, if I didn't have you on the other end of the mic, I would be talking to myself. And I don't know how long that would last. I would have given up episodes ago, like hundreds of episodes ago. So
yeah.
I appreciate you,
baby. Here we go.
Appreciate you. You bring the juice. And as you alluded to, as a reminder, this will be the last day we have to remind you, really, because it's tomorrow. It's, well, today, if you're listening to it, live stream for the Home Run Derby.
Just coming out.
We're going to be hanging out Monday, July 15th, 8 p.m. As we kind of already mentioned, we'll be hopping on a little early. Do we have a time picked out for that? When do we want to?
The Home Run Derby starts at 5 Eastern, correct?
8 Eastern, 5 your time.
5 Pacific, 8 Eastern.
Yeah.
We're
thinking like,
I think an hour before. I think an hour. Maybe
an
30,
hour?
Not an hour. Maybe 30 minutes.
I was like, man, we're talking about really hanging out with the people.
Maybe 30 minutes. We just run through some of the giveaways. We just kind of talk about.
I like that.
Give people an opportunity, get their names in. I think we're going to have stuff like flashing on the screen, so it'll remind you as we go. So yeah, it'll be fun. Just come hang out. I think. Should we do a little something? Should we get a little festive? I was thinking like maybe I should make a bunch of hot dogs. What do you think of that? Maybe just eat a million hot dogs.
We'll make it fun. I think we may chat about it for a minute when we hop off here. Get some final
I'm not saying like a
details
challenge.
worked out.
I'm not telling you.
No.
I don't feel like throwing up during the stream, but
no, especially if we're gonna be hanging out for a few hours. I'm not trying to.
Just enough to get the hot dog burps going a little bit, and then you shut it down.
Yeah.
Which is like 2 nowadays, unfortunately.
That's the beauty of this being audio and video only. No.
It's true. No smell. Not yet.
No smell. We're good. Yeah, I haven't reached that technology yet.
Maybe a 900. We'll see.
Yeah. So come hang out with us for the Home Run Derby, rather. We'll be, as Nate mentioned, we'll be doing some giveaways. We'll be giving away some cash. We'll be giving away some merch, some prizes. We may even be giving away like some fresh hot pies. That was, I think you had maybe talked about doing some flash pizza giveaways.
Why do I feel like we did that first? Maybe we should bring back like Grand Slam pizza giveaways or something, you know? Because we did that a couple times, and
yeah, we did that back.
Fun.
What did we do that for? It was like when Nestor would it
was like a certain amount of strikeouts, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, we'd give away a pie, and I think you're right. I think there for a bit when that's what you're right. That's exactly what it was when a Grand Slam would take place, because we would have people let us know, because we weren't able to watch like all 15 games. People let us know like, hey, there's a home run, a Grand Slam. You need to give away pizza, and
we're gonna have some pizzas rolling. We're gonna have some pizzas rolling tomorrow, and this is just what we do, baby. This is what we do.
I'm looking forward to it. I've already Already had some people reach out to confirm some details, like where can we hang out with you? YouTube, you can hang out with us on the YouTube,
Sure
our
can.
Facebook, and then my Twitter, Kyle Corwin Takes. As I mentioned, I don't know if the comment with the whole like API, which that probably goes over a lot of your heads, with the inability rather to comment, or for us to at least see it through the Twitter. I think if you want to engage, if you want to be submitting your Venmo account or whatever for the drawings, for the giveaways, the cash, the pizza, whatever, hang out with us on Facebook and YouTube. But if you're more of a Twitter person, that's fine. You can still hang out with us, but make plans to join us, and we're gonna have a good time. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
How
are you feeling? You feeling good today? You feeling ready to roll?
Dude, if for nothing else,
it's the last day, baby. It's the last day. You made it here.
We made it to the break.
Then no more polo.
I was gonna say today is the day that we formally lay the Billy Bean attire to rest.
Do you mind having like a safe fire or something? Should we just burn it?
Like when they lit the bird on fire in the office, just in a paper box out back.
Dwight just stomps out a little smoke. Oh, that's so good.
Hey, clean this up.
I like it.
Come on, mush.
I think that's the move, dude. Have a little ceremony.
I thought we talked about sending this to Cooperstown.
That's true. That's a good idea. Yeah. This is probably the only time anyone will ever see both of us in a polo at the same time, though. I just got off the course, so if you're watching, I almost had a heat stroke, but I didn't, so we're good.
I don't know who willingly goes out to golf when it's like 112 degrees, but
no. It's a very breezy, brisk 101. That's all.
I bet you the humidity is still better out there than it is here. I can promise you that.
The humidity was brutal, man. This course had, I don't know how many golf balls I lost. So many golf balls, so much water. Crazy. Anyway, 450. Let's get into some stuff. Yeah.
You ready to talk some ball? What a way to start it off here. Paul Skenes gets the nod for the All-Star game start for the National League. I put out like a reaction video very shortly after the news broke, because I even mentioned in the video, I was like, I don't know how to act. And there was probably people that looked at that and were like, is it really worth getting all like this worked up over? It's just a start for the All-Star game. But my whole point there in the video, I just talk about how so rarely as baseball fans do we get wins like this.
The last one was like the Ohtani Trout matchup.
Right. It's like
in the WBC, which is an exhibition game. Like, I know this is an exhibition game, but this is like front row, dude, like against 3 guys that you can't wait to see him face. I love it. I'm hyped with you. I'm
exactly. It's
don't apologize. Don't.
Oh no. I'm not apologizing. I'm explaining to people kind of where my thought process was with that, because it's as I was saying, it's so rare that we get wins like this where collectively, whether you're a National League fan, an American League fan, whether you like the pitch clock, whether you hate the pitch clock, whatever. Collectively, I think we could all look at this and go, we want Paul Skenes to start the All-Star game. We want that thing. And we got that thing. And as you kind of already touched on, the names that he's going to go up presumably against, that is if Juan Soto doesn't get cut before the All-Star game, because you're talking about how he's just out of it physically right now. We're talking about Gunnar Henderson, Juan Soto, and Aaron Judge. I mean, this is like, I'm going to try to choose my words carefully here, but like vibe-wise, this kind of reminds me of like Pedro 99 All-Star game, where it's like
starting off with 6Ks.
Paul Skenes has a long way to go. I understand that, but just in terms of like pure power going up against pure power, best of the best going up against the best of the best, and Paul Skenes right now is one of the better, if not the best pitcher, or at least hottest pitcher in baseball right now. And I mean, this is just a huge win.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, dude. Do we know the lineups yet? They're not released yet, right?
Like the start, you're just saying like the batting order,
like the actual lineup. Yeah,
yeah. I don't believe we have that as of yet.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be Gunnar. I don't know who else it would be at the top.
I
think that Soto and Judge is a no-brainer.
Yeah, it would have to be those three, just in any
Yeah.
particular order, I guess.
Oof, good Lord, dude. That's going to be so good. But you're right. This is exactly what like every baseball fan would want to see. This is like the simulation, like the matchup you would want when you play Diamond Dynasty and MLB The Show. You know what I mean? Like this is exactly how you would want it. I think I have a conspiracy theory.
Ooh, what do you got? I love a good conspiracy.
I think Shelton got a call about Paul Skenes either the day before.
Are you talking about Lavello?
Yeah. No, maybe even higher up. Because I know it's Lavello's decision, but I think there's executives that are pushing this.
I see what you're saying.
I think that there's a narrative that like is like started to brew, and I think that it's gotten enough limelight and attention, and I don't know if it's been trending in any way, but like there's a lot of people in our game talking about this. I think that there's some front office situation that is maybe mentioning that to Torrey. I think there was a call to Shelton either the day before or day of Paul Skenes' start, and it was, hey, we've got something in mind next week. I think if you're comfortable with this, we'd like to give him the nod. I don't care if he's going out and throwing a no-hitter. You need to pull him after 100. I think that's what occurred. And when you look at the conversation between Shelton, and I know we're mainly about the All-Star game start right now, but this is the same story. Let's face it. It's within a week. I think if you watch how Shelton went and talked to him, did you notice that it was kind of in like the back tunnel? Away from the dugout? I feel like that conversation needed to be private. And something tells me that Shelton and Skenes probably knew, or at least Shelton knew. And I don't think you can say that. I don't think you can publicly admit that if you're Shelton, as much as you would want to. I don't think you can come out and say, we're making a business decision for Major League Baseball and not about the Pirates winning a ball game. That's my theory. That's my conspiracy theory. I think that there was enough of a nudge and enough of a push to say, hey, Paul Skenes right now is bigger than the Pittsburgh Pirates 2024 season. MLB needs him to be healthy for this. We need this to happen. That's my theory. And I think that no one is allowed to say it. And I think that maybe Skenes knew, or maybe he found out when his day was done after 7 innings. Because don't tell me he's tired when he just made a 6-pitch inning to get through the 7th to get him to 100 pitches. And it was weak contact the whole time. Don't tell me he's looking tired. These guys are barely just now catching up to glancing at his baseball. So it's like, I'm not buying it. I think Shelton knew. I'm laying it on the table.
Am I crazy to throw out the idea that this all transpired very, very quickly? Like, because I feel like the national narrative for the longest time was that like I say longest time relative to the conversation building up about the All-Star game. I feel like for the majority of that buildup, the national narrative was that there's just no way you can start a guy who missed nearly 2 months of the season before he made his debut.
Yeah.
There's no way that you can start that guy in the All-Star game, regardless how well he's doing. But then I feel like it was probably this last week, because we concluded this past week with the news that he was going to get the start. I feel like it was all of last week where it was like, whoa, this is like a real possibility. And he's, I would say in the clubhouse, he might be even the leader in this conversation of who's getting the nod. And then all of a sudden the decision comes out that he is the starter. So to your point, I think more people knew than we're being led to believe.
I think there were more people that made that decision. And let's face it. Let's freaking face it. This is MLB. This is their show. They run this week. They run everything. We have red carpet, laid out for these guys. They're showing up. They're talking about what they're wearing. Like, we're going on this level of like mass production marketing going on. So many different sponsorships, so many different commercials, patches. Don't tell me that executives are just sitting back and saying, Lovullo, you got this. Make the right decision. There's no way. And you talk about Lovullo, you talk about Shelton. Those are two old school baseball guys. Old school baseball guys do not choose rookies to start all-star games, especially rookies that missed a chunk of the season, that didn't get called up. These guys there's a respect level. There's a seniority amongst this brotherhood of players. And there's an earn your stripes kind of mentality across the league. And I think Lovullo and Shelton have been around a long time, and they know that. And I don't think this decision was solely theirs or solely Torrey's. I think it is 100% a narrative being pushed by front office or the MLB office or Manfred himself, saying this is the opportunity of a lifetime. And it kind of is for this generation. Like you said, we haven't seen this stuff. Your next closest thing you think of is Pedro. That's almost 20 years ago. No, it's over 20 years. That's a long time ago.
25 years ago. Yeah.
That's insane to have like that moment that we can fall back on. I think there's a reason. I mean, I don't know. We could go deeper. Soto is not healthy right now. When you're talking about a Yankee team who's willing to pull anybody off the field if they step incorrectly, Soto is letting go of the bat after swings and obviously in pain. He's not sitting out. And I don't know if that's a toughness thing or if that's a like, bro, you're going to be a part of this insane moment for the All-Star game. We're building this up. We're hyping this up. You're not going to miss that. That's my one step deeper. Maybe I'm going a little too far there. But at the very least, I think the Skenes thing I don't think it's that far stretched.
Yeah, I feel like the tinfoil hat might be a little too tight on the Soto bit, but
maybe.
I'm with you. I'm with you on the Skenes thing. And who knows? Like maybe the Soto thing is a possibility. I would venture, or my guess is that that's probably not their priority. But if there is any truth to that, maybe they're looking at it being like, hey, we'll give you an AB. Like if you still want to be there for the festivities, we'll give you an AB.
Think about 3 weeks ago when Soto maybe it wasn't 3 weeks ago. Maybe it was a month and a half ago, where Dodgers are in Yankee Stadium. Soto has a sore shoulder and he's missing the entire series. We're watching him physically struggle holding on to a bat after a swing. I don't know. I don't know if that, and I'm not saying he's weak. I'm sure it's a mixture of toughness. But it could be a little MLB saying, hey, I need you. We need you. Baseball needs you. And this is the moment. If you've been glued to baseball this year at all, this is a moment that's going to be really cool to see.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned the Trout Ohtani AB and the World Baseball Classic. I mean, I'm not going to put this on that level because I feel like that may go down as one of the better at bats we'll ever see in our life. Like that's probably like Bonds Gagne level to me. Yeah. Because it was that's on a good comp. It was on like the literal global scale. So you could even make the argument that was even bigger, but
that's a good comp.
I don't know. Like it's in line, or it's in the conversation with the Trout Ohtani AB. But what's even better is that it's going to be elongated over the course of multiple at bats. Like we're not just going to see Skenes versus Judge or something, or like this, even the Skenes Ohtani AB, even though he saw him multiple times during that start. And I think Skenes blew him away one of the at bats and Ohtani took him deep the next one, or vice versa.
Yeah.
But like this is going to be like AB after AB after AB. And if who knows, like if he struggles a little bit, sees a little bit further down the line in that lineup, maybe even sees more star power. It's going to be incredible. Do you to kind of put a bow on this, do you have any predictions for how you think the half inning is going to go?
I think he gets 2 of the 3.
Dude, I'm feeling a little saucy right now.
You feeling all 3?
Dude, I think I could see it. I really could see it. Because this guy, if you watch Paul Skenes, and if you saw the announcement, and I'm sure it was super scripted and planned and staged and all that, but if you saw when he was on the Dan Patrick show, and then Torey Lovullo just happens to call Dan Patrick,
and see,
lets him know, like, hey, just wanted to jump into the conversation real quick to let you know, Paul, that you're getting the start. If you watch him receive that news, the kid is emotionless.
Yeah,
and like personally, there's like a mild concern on my part that he's gonna turn into like the Mike Trout type, where it's just like I'm really not interested.
Like robotic.
I'm just not interested in the extracurricular shenanigans. I just want to go out there and dominate.
Yeah,
I'm worried that we might be headed that direction, but I'm gonna hold out hope. I'm gonna hold out hope that doesn't happen.
The mustache makes you think maybe not.
Yeah,
that's for the boys. That mustache is for the boys.
But either way, I think it's just really interesting to see at his being as young as he is and being as inexperienced as he is. At the big league level, it's just crazy to me how. And I'm always about like equilibrium. I'm always about being even keel and taking note of which guys are able to have a low heartbeat. He's got that, and the moment just doesn't seem too big for him. And dude, I could see like to make the comp one last time. I could see like a Pedro-esque like K after K after K.
I'm in.
I can see it.
Here's what I think. Here's my full prediction. I think it's K. I think it's a minimum 7 pitch at bat with Soto that ends in a walk.
That's fair. Yeah.
And then with a hardcore shuffle, hardcore stare down.
Known walk merchant Juan Soto, yes.
Yeah. And then probably a K by Judge, I think. I don't know, though. Judge has been smoking hot for this Orioles series. So maybe that would be, I mean, Skenes and Judge is arguably the best at bat of the 3, no? Like I'm not disappointed with 1 and 2 at all.
No, for
but
sure.
But this is like how they're going right now. They're the best 2. Yeah, we're not crazy to say that.
Of those matchups, yeah, Judge, Skenes for sure.
I think it's the fastball up and in that Judge is not going to be able to do anything with, and he's got that ridiculous slider that he's got a Judge is thinking from in here to down and away. You have to cover that. I just don't see that being a great matchup for him, but I'd love to be wrong.
And there's no doubt in my mind that kid's doing his homework because he recognizes the stage that he's been given, and he does not want to disappoint. So he is looking to exploit and expose every one of those guys.
Who would you go for 4, 5, 6 saying or hoping? I hope he gets 2 innings, yeah?
I need to look. Remind me, what do we got around the diamond again?
I believe we have Vladdy at first, but I don't think he'll be 4.
Adley behind the dish.
I think maybe Adley 4, J-Ram 5, Vladdy 6.
J-Ram's in there.
You like that? Or is Adley too high?
We got, is Jordan in that mix?
Is Jordan in that mix?
Dude, I can't remember.
Is Jordan an all-star?
I can't keep the. Yeah, didn't he?
Be crazy to not be an all-star, right?
Yeah, he was selected
DH.
as the DH. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a hard time keeping the starters and
this lineup's absurd, bro. Okay, so Gunnar, Soto,
starters and reserves separate.
Judge, Jordan.
Give me Jordan. Give me Adley,
J-Ram.
J-Ram. Yep, that's what I would say.
Oh,
No disrespect to Adley. We didn't include Adley in that mix, did we? Or did we?
Yeah, I said Adley. I think Adley 5 after Jordan.
Jordan, Adley,
and then J-Ram. And then Vlad 7.
Oh boy,
I don't even know what's left for 8, 9. Quan's gonna be down there.
Yeah, Simeon's in there.
Simeon, yeah. Whoa, dude.
I can't wait.
Quan and Simeon 8, 9 potentially. What is going on?
Stephen Quan is your 9 hitter. Unreal.
This is a crazy line. I'm sorry. I know there's bias attached here, but I think anyone with a brain.
It's not bias. It's in the numbers. Like the American League objectively is a better squad.
We see this. We all see this. There's no doubt in my mind. Good
I'm
Lord.
about it. Speaking of the AL, let's switch gears here. The Royals going and snatching up Hunter Harvey from the Nationals. I really like this move, and I know
off, dog. You've been on the Royals for a minute, so you send it here.
I know on the surface it doesn't look great. In 43 games, Harvey is 2-4 with a 4.20. He struck out 50 and walked 12 across 45 innings. He does offer the flexibility of sliding into that closer role, which I'll be quite honest with you. James MacArthur as the current closer for the Royals.
No disrespect. No
disrespect, but like could maybe benefit from having a little bit of help, a little bit of depth in that closer by committee conversation if it gets to that point. But I really like this. Hunter Harvey, if you've been following the names floating around the trade deadline, this was a guy whose name was surfaced at the top for many of these conversations, and the Royals didn't wait around. The Royals identified a guy that they wanted to go and snatch up to help their bullpen because their bullpen's been terrible. I think I read that they ranked like 21st in all of baseball. Like,
okay,
not good, regardless where they fall. Numbers wise, not good. Yeah. So they went and snatched up Harvey, and I think this is one of those low. It's not gonna be on the front page of MLB.com necessarily, and it may not even be a move that they look back on in November and go, that's what saved our season. But it's gonna be a move, in my opinion, that will help solidify their progress and their efforts into securing a wild card spot.
I'm gonna fill in the gaps of what you're saying and support your statements here. I think what this shows to your team, your clubhouse, your fans is saying, I do believe that we can do this. I do believe that we can be last year's Diamondbacks. We may not dominate. We may not go win this division, but I do believe if we can bulk up enough and make a run, we got a chance. And I think what this does is it says we're one of the first teams to make a move before this deadline with a lot of rumors going around, a lot happening. We're going to do this before the All-Star game, beat everyone to the punch because everyone's going to be talking. You're going to see MLB execs having conversations during this week. This isn't a full-on break. If anything, the front offices are going to be working harder this week. So for the Royals to say, let's go. This isn't the move. This isn't the move that pushes them over the top. You're saying that, and I agree. It's a move. I think it does well for them. It gives them depth, and it is making an effort to plug a hole that's there. And now we're going to see, hopefully, a little bit of a domino effect to get this market going, and for the Royals to be like, you know what, we'll take that first one. We'll be that first guy through the wall. Sounds good. Let's roll. So I'm excited. I'm excited for what they got going. I'm with you.
I've been been on the Royals all season.
You have, you sure have, since the offseason.
To your point, this is a step that proves that. Staying in the American League, Orioles and Yankees. What a wild weekend of baseball!
Wow.
I wanna flip it to you though to talk about was that Friday night's game?
Yep.
With the rain and the hit by pitch and all that. What do you make of the benches clearing and Brandon Hyde? I mean, I know you shared your thoughts in the heat of the moment, but now that you've had maybe some time to think on it a little bit more, think a little bit more about this rivalry that's maybe brewing a little bit. I mean, I think it's been brewing for some time, like interdivision rivals. I get all that, but like I think there's a little bit more juice to the Yankees and O's that maybe people are giving credit for.
I think this is giving me like 4 years ago Yankees Rays when CC's "That's for you, B dog," and then like obviously old school Yankees Red Sox is kind of unreachable at this point with any other rivals, but it gives me that kind of energy around Friday night. First off, Clay Holmes being an all-star is kind of a joke, and I think there's a lot of Yankees fans that agree because of what we've seen for like the last 6 weeks from him. This man is deer in headlights. This man's heart is pounding out of his chest. He does not have a slow heartbeat. He is not calm. And when he is on the mound, there's big question marks. It's almost like this underlying, no disrespect here, but this underlying, we still have a chance because Craig Kimbrell's on the other side of this. That's the vibe I'm getting with Clay Holmes during this stretch. Okay. Combine that with rain, combine that with a 3-run lead, combine that with the division on the line, not really, but kind of as a statement to your fan base after an abysmal July and half of June. There's no intent here. There's absolutely zero intent. Here's where things are being other side of fence, specifically on Twitter. Orioles fans and Yankees fans are going just all over each other right now. Contact is made with the ear hole, okay? Goes down. Clay's walking up to apologize because let's face it, if you're a Yankee fan in any way, you can all support me here by saying Clay Holmes is probably the nicest dude in that clubhouse. As far as like timid, I would never talk and scream and get in your face. He's the last guy. That man is basically an accountant in a Yankee uniform with a dirty sinker.
Sounds like a great approach for a closer, but continue.
Yeah. So there's no intent. He's walking up. He's trying to apologize. Brandon Hyde is brushing off chirping and talking through Austin Wells. And Austin Wells is like, bro, do the math here. What's the deal? Yes, this sucks. Yes, this is never wanted, but it is a part of our game. That's the internal thought going around here. Brandon Hyde's chirping. And where he responds is because the Yankee dugout is like, bro, like, don't brush off our guy. Like, he's trying to apologize. Like, there's no intent. Like, relax. And then Brandon Hyde just goes 0 to 60 in no time at all, and throwing, whatever he needs to throw at that dugout. That is manufactured by a manager who is feeling heat from his fan base for the way the Orioles have been playing for the last few weeks.
Oh, I'm tired of hearing about that.
That man is feeling heat. Whether it's correct or incorrect to feel that heat, that's up to you and your organization, Baltimore. I think they're fine. I think they're absolutely fine.
Yes, they're fine.
There's nothing to worry about if you're Brandon Hyde.
I've said this for like the last year. The Orioles get a little taste of success, which I love, by the way.
Yeah.
It's huge for baseball.
I grew up there. Like, we're not, as much as I want to hate the Orioles, I don't.
Oh my gosh.
Their fan base is starting to get crazy, but
they're losing their minds. They get a little taste of success and they don't know how to act. They think that I'm looking at it right now with today's win, which we'll touch on here just in a moment. With today's win, they're 3-7 in their last 10. You're still 20 games over 500. Relax.
Fine. You're fine.
And I know our good buddy Ryan Ripken. That's like his go-to thing after
we're fine. The O's are fine.
Just a devastating loss.
Listen to him, please.
I would venture to say he has a good pulse on the team. That's just a guess. Maybe it's like a family thing. I don't know. Maybe if there's like a deeper connection to the team there.
I don't think this is just blind faith. I think he understands baseball, and he's talking to a lot of those guys. He's friends with a lot of those guys.
Yeah,
trust him.
I hear the Ripkins are like somewhat connected to the O's. I can't confirm.
Kinda.
Don't know. Maybe. But you're 20 games over 500. Like, let's relax.
Yeah. The fan base is getting to. There's some. I'm not going to say all. I'm not going to generalize because I'd like to think I'm not a part of the majority when it comes to judging Yankee fans. I'd like to think I'm the exception. So I'm not going to sit here and say every Oriole fan is this way. But what I'm saying is that like you're creeping into territory you don't want to be in. When you get your first ring with this core, with this roster, you can be this loud. You can be this demanding. You can be this critical because you've earned it at that point. You have all the tools. Everything's set. There may be 3 moves in the trade deadline to being complete. That's my genuine opinion. They're 3 moves away from being very solid and very promising. That's a starter, some relief depth, maybe 2 relief depth pieces, and then I'm not worried.
You have a positional logjam. Yeah, you don't need to add.
The lineup's fine. The defense is fine. It's just a little bit of pitching depth, and you're fine. So, getting back to this series. Getting back to this situation, I think Hyde manufactured this. I think he's sweating it a little bit. I don't know why. I don't know why the fan base is so mean to him. He's doing a fine job. I think he's doing great. I think they're doing great. I think it's been a tough skid, which every team has. I think that he just kind of lost his cool for a sec. And it's very easy. It's very easy. Orioles fans don't like Yankee fans. No one really likes Yankee fans. No one likes the Yankees.
True.
That's okay. That's fine. I just think it was a little over the top and there was no math being done. I think the moment just got a little too fast for him. That's what I genuinely think.
Yeah, I mean, anybody would lose their cool if you had like 25, 30,000 people behind you. You see them all starting to stand up. You feel the tension arise a little bit. You go, okay, I'm going to let it eat.
Yeah, I think he's and was it spark for the team? Maybe. Was that what the intent was? Maybe that's what he was trying to do. You know, guys get tossed. Guys get tossed on purpose sometimes. Old school managers did it all the time. I think guys do it less now. But when you're feeling desperate after a couple like bad weeks, you're like, you know what? Let's shake things up. You know what I mean? And I think that's what he did. I just think it was poor timing. I think it was unnecessary. And I felt good about the Yankees, where they were at with the whole situation. And I felt good about what they did the next day. Today, on the other hand.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What an ending to a very entertaining finale. You got the bases loaded, 2 outs. Seti Mullen steps to the plate in the bottom of the 9th. None other than Clay Holmes steps or on the bump. Seti Mullen steps up, hits about as routine of a can of corn as you can. Alex Verdugo, dog, self-proclaimed dog, comes charging in, realizes he's made the mistake of his life, turns around, tries to make up ground, slips, falls, loses the ball, loses the game.
Ugly.
I loved it.
Super ugly. Super embarrassing. I think that's what like sucks most about this is that like everyone's just gonna sit on that moment for 5 days.
Good.
That's tough. I felt great about like it's in reality, like you look at that series, you're like, good series. You won the series. We should feel good about this. It's the way this Yankees team loses that's just so low at times. It's such a gut punch. And as much as I want to sit here and be like, Verdugo, this is entirely on you, Clay Holmes had 2 walks. This can't continue to happen. This team that like is meant and paid to perform can't continue to do this kind of stuff. The lows can't be this low. And it is literally just Judge and Soto. This team is Judge, Soto, and I would say great coaching skills from our ace, Garrett Cole. That's about it. I don't know how else they're in this position. I have no idea how this Yankees team is just a game back from the Orioles. So I would consider this a very high note for the Baltimore Orioles to go into the break. Even though you lost that series, even though there's a lot of emotion that you left on the field, I would rather be an O's fan in this position right now than I would be a Yankees fan, even after winning the series. And you're just soaking up all the Verdugo nonsense.
The guy's a chump. Dude, you type in Verdugo on Twitter, and I know Twitter can be a cesspool at times, but it's hilarious seeing how quickly these people are turning on Verdugo. And you just wait. Well, I don't want to open this can of worms, but this,
if he chirps back,
what they're no. What I was going to say is what they're doing to Verdugo is what I thought was going to happen with Stroman by this point in the year. But Stroman's still kind of laying low, at least from what I can tell.
But except he yelled at Glaber the other day, which was wild.
Yeah, they're turning on Verdugo, and I knew this was going to happen, and I said it. You can go back and check. I said this was going to happen, and it's nice to see it come to fruition because the guy's a chump.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and have blind faith and immediately be okay with guys. For me, like there's guys on this team that I support because they've kind of earned that role. They've earned that spot. And for like you to just come in and be loud and just say like, hey, I think I'm here because I wasn't wanted over there. And now I get to be me. Like, how about we just be a little bit quieter? How about we just kind of fill the role, focus on filling the role well. And maybe at a certain point, you'll be like a true accepted Yankee. So that's where I'm at with Verdugo. So I don't hate the words. I don't fully disagree with the words. I'm just ready to see like, can you turn a corner, or is this going to just put you in the grave for the rest of the year? Yeah, no.
Let's talk about Rece Hinds.
Bro,
what an insane start for the rookie outfielder. Entering today, Sunday, 5 home runs in his first 6 games.
What is happening?
Entering Sunday, 11 for 23 with 3 doubles, a triple, 5 homers, 7 runs scored, and 11 RBIs. And slashing 524, 565, and 1476. For those of you doing the math at home, that's a 2032 OPS.
Bro, that swing plays. Bro. How big is this guy? He fills out a uniform. You know what I mean? Not to be weird about this, but like you hear like Mark DeRosa talk about how a guy just looks like a ball player.
6'4", 215, he's listed.
That's the exact size I always choose for my guy when I play third base in MLB The Show. That's the dream size. My man is built like a superhero.
215. According to Sarah Langs, his 9 extra base hits in his first 6 games are 2 more than any other player in MLB's modern era since 1901.
And the swag is just next level for me. I'm a big fan. I've only seen numbers. I've only like read and seen numbers. Like I haven't actually seen.
I mean, he's been up for
Clips.
maybe a cup of coffee. Like all of this has happened in such a short period of time that I would venture to say there's probably still people that haven't quite caught wind of this guy yet.
I'm impressed. I am impressed. This is tough. Codify. Total bases in MLB games in 2024. Rece Hinds through 5 games, 31 total bases. Martin Maldonado, 48 games, 31 total bases. Just catching a random ricochet.
No need
That's
for
so
the strays.
tough.
No need for the strays. None of that. Speaking of which, the White Sox, in case anybody's wondering, currently 27-70.
That's crazy, dude. They might lose 120 games, bro. They're going to sell off. That's like, it's going to get worse.
That is unbelievable.
Forgive me. Where does Hinds play?
He's an
outfield.
Yeah. Yep.
The talent, man. The talent. Baseball is crazy right now.
Another guy worth noting, Trea Turner.
Heard of him?
Entering Sunday. Not nearly the same as Hinds' 2032 OPS during that stretch that he went on. But in the month of July, since July 1st, entering Sunday, Trea Turner sporting an OPS of 1264 with 7 home runs and 17 RBIs. He has 8 homers in his last 12 games, and I think that includes today's home run. And I don't know what he's done in his last couple ABs to close out the game. I know the Phillies just got waxed. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
By the A's.
I was on the course. Really?
Waxed, dude.
Bad one.
I need to pull it up just to make sure I got the numbers right. 18-3.
Oh.
18-3 to go into the break for the Phils.
Excuse me?
What a rough way to close
nauseous.
out. No, but yeah, I think he, including today's home run, that gives him 8 homers in his last 12 games. As we all know, Trea Turner missed nearly 40 games. But I think if we had a healthy Trea Turner with the way he's hitting right now, coming off the IL,
that's what I would like to ask you.
He would be in the conversation.
We talked about maybe not being a huge fan of Trea Turner being an all-star. Do we need to issue an apology, or are we in the right still?
No, we're absolutely in the right. The sample size was not large enough. But that's sort of my point. That's sort of what I'm getting at, is what he's done as of late. It makes you wonder, like, if you extrapolate that over the course of the full amount of games that we've played or that we've witnessed thus far across baseball, if he was a part of that mix the entire time, where does he stand? He's certainly an all-star, but like, is he, and that's what I was mentioning earlier, like, is he in the conversation for MVP? Certainly not the front runner, but like, is he at least in the conversation with this kind of tear that he's on? I think I heard something. Where was it? Was it on the Phillies broadcast? I was watching Phillies game the other day, or maybe this weekend, and I think somebody can check me on this, but I'm pretty sure I heard somebody say that since the standing ovation dating back to last year, I want to say nobody's had a higher batting average than Trea Turner in that span. And I know, batting average, who cares?
Hey,
for most people, not us, not me, but some people have that feeling. But like, that just speaks to where Trea Turner fits into the conversation that I think a lot of people are having and saying that this isn't a good contract. And how people are still saying that in the summer of 2024 is beyond me. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he's put up the numbers and he's produced to the point that he has in just a small period of time says a lot about what he is.
One ring.
That's all it'll take.
That's all it takes. Jimmy Rollins is loved there. One ring. One ring. And that man is in Philly immortality. Ring of Fame. That's all. That's all they need. Bryce, he needs 2. Great with 1. They're okay with 1. But he needs 2 to be like, I am the Phillies. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I don't think Bryce has crossed over I don't think he's, I could be wrong. Philly fans, if you're here, pop in the chat. I don't know if he's gotten into Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins territory yet.
Well, yet is a different conversation. But
I think he will.
I'm saying with one ring, I think he's still in that. He's still in that mix. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because think about it. For as long, like, you got to remember, Bryce Hart, like, I swear it seems like yesterday he just made his debut. He's been playing now for what, a dozen years?
That's crazy to say out loud. That can't be right, is it?
2012 NL Rookie of the Year, if I'm not mistaken.
We're old.
He's been playing a dozen years.
Why did you have to say dozen like that?
Everything that he's accomplished in his career to this point, because assuming he finishes out his time in Philly, he is going, like, Philly fans are going to be able to claim everything that he accomplished, even in DC, like, just like the resume that he's built. They're going to be able to just claim all of it because he's going to end up being in Philly for what, a dozen years, 13.
What's the comp? What's the comp in history? Like, are you saying is Bonds crazy? Is Bonds a crazy comp as far as not numbers, not stats, not status or whatever, records? I don't care about any of that. I'm strictly talking about the Pirates have no claim to Bonds. It's only Giants. The Nationals have no claim to Harper. It's only the Phillies. Is that the comp?
Yeah, but I think
he will be there. I think there's more pressure to him needing. I think he needs more than one. I think he needs more than one to be like, you know what, dude? We spent all this money. We committed you for this long because you have been talked about being the greatest baseball player on the planet since you were 16. And that's still a factor. I think that's still in play here.
No, for sure.
I think Trea Turner is going to potentially be a Hall of Famer when he's done. And one ring is going to lock him into like...
You said Philly's immortality. Why does that not apply to Bryce Harper?
I think Philly immortality is it's just different, bro. I feel like it's like I need you to be Bryce Harper didn't have the come up, doesn't have the ceiling of Utley, Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins. You know, like Mike Schmidt is still Mr. Philly in my mind, right? I think that's very fair to say. So if you want to be Mr. Philly, we need more than one. That's just, I think he'll be beloved. But there's going to be a lot of fans that are like, you know, that's a long time. That's a long time to only get us one.
I don't know. You want to talk comps?
I think KD. Look at KD.
No. I got
before Golden State.
No. I got a better comp for you. Look at former teammate of Bryce Harper, Ryan Zimmerman. Look at the timing of where that ring fell in his career. With every year that passes that Harper does not get a ring, we can only, I say we, I know a lot of people can't stand the guy, but a lot of baseball fans can only hope that Harper at one point or another gets a ring. Mm-hmm. Every year that passes that he doesn't get that ring, he gets closer to retirement. Obviously, that's how time works. If he gets closer to the end of his career and he gets that one that he probably wouldn't tell you that that's like the only thing he's worried about. I mean, he tells Philly fans that that's what he wants, but we don't know exactly what his priorities are, like what he's trying to achieve in his career. But if he gets that one that he's been chasing, and he's on the back end of his career, I think that seals it for him. Like that's all he needs. If they go out and win it this year, and then for the remainder of his career goes ringless, then I can hear your argument for maybe needing more than one, because it's like, dude, what did you do for the last
So you're saying
decade
when
of
that
your career?
one happens, when that one happens.
It's all based on the timing. It's all based on the timing.
I think the Ryan Zimmerman comp is tough because there's some charm for you sticking it out through a garbage ball club for 2/3 of your career. There's some charm around you. There's charm around Todd Helton. There's charm around guys that are lifers that you like went through the dog days to get here. I think there's immediate pressure from Harper the second he got to Philly, and it's not just one ring. I think that would be considered a failure. I really do. And I don't. It's not up to me. He's still going to be a Hall of Famer. Philly fans are still going to love him. He's still going to perform. That's all fine and dandy. But I think he won't be. I think there's immortality, and then there's Mike Schmidt level, and I don't think he's going to be Mike Schmidt level. I don't think he'll take over as Mr. Philly if he only gets one.
I think the garbage team with the Ryan Zimmerman conversation is a little unfair. Like they were a 4-time division winning team during his time. They weren't exactly schmucks. No, but going back to that comp with Zimmerman, he was quite literally at the end of his career when they pulled that off.
Yeah.
Or just about.
He also started the organization though. So that's a tough comp.
I get that. No, I'm purely talking about the timing.
How late a ring can be.
Even though he wasn't like peak Ryan Zimmerman, what's the conversation around Ryan Zimmerman? World Series champion forever. Nobody's going to take that away from him. The same thing to me is if something similar happens with Harper, that's going to be the conversation around him. He got the ring. He reached the mountaintop. World Series champion forever. Would he like more than one? Absolutely. Would Phillies fans like more than one? Absolutely. But for me, I think one locks it in for him.
I'd really be curious to see what Philly fans would say. I'd be really curious.
I don't know. I didn't think we'd be talking about Harper's legacy on this podcast, but
it's 450, whatever.
Talking about a guy that's gonna be sticking around with a team for a long time, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Moved to the 60-day IL, so he won't be eligible to be back until the middle. Honestly, looking at the calendar, little over a month. He won't be eligible to return before August 16th. So give or take a month from now. Just another, another gut punch. And then on the flip side, or kind of in the same vein of gut punches for the rotation, Dustin May. With
fill me in here. What's going on?
One of the more wild injury headlines you'll probably ever hear: will miss the remainder of the 2024 season after undergoing surgery to repair a torn esophagus.
What?
my reaction.
That's the
exactly.
thing in your throat, right?
Correct.
Did he yell too much?
The report that I'm reading says the injury, sources said, first appeared during a dinner and required intervention after May sought attention the next day for pain in his throat and stomach.
Do you think he was like choking on something at dinner? That's scary.
Well, it said he sought attention the next day for pain in his throat and stomach. Medical personnel diagnosed a tear in May's throat and acted quickly. May is expected to make a full recovery.
That's good, but that could be scary. Like that could be like
for sure.
If he's choking and like a Heimlich move need to be made, like that would be terrible.
I mean, he was getting dragged on social as you would expect because it's just such a bizarre thing.
Yeah,
but like,
it's I'm not thing.
I'm not going to sit here and bring light to that because I'm like that's scary, man.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
You're like
it's wild.
Your moments, like if there was something lodged or like there was some sort of maneuver that had to take place, like you're moments away from not a very good ending.
That's scary. No,
that's a scary thing. But
Yeah. Fans
all in all,
suck.
though,
Some fans suck, man. Like, we don't know the story. Just, they're human beings. Jeez.
yeah, all in all, just a weird, or I shouldn't say weird, just another unfortunate blow.
What
for
was
the Dodgers
his timetable?
rotation.
Was he set to be back?
He was set to return like later this year, I believe. I want to say August, maybe.
Dang.
I want to, I want to say like at some point in August. But yeah, just another guy that you're gonna have to.
That's tough. That's real tough.
Cross off the list.
Yeah. I don't know. What was it? A week ago? I said, don't stress if you're a Dodger fan. I don't know. I mean, Yamamoto's going to get 6, 7 starts if he's back on time before the postseason.
Oh, you're saying when he's back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Weird question.
Yeah, 6 to 8.
Weird question. Am I stupid for asking this? Can you do you could do rehab starts on the IL, right? In AAA?
You're saying like in an official capacity, not like side sessions?
Yeah. Am I an idiot?
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, because then you get recalled from the IL once you're set,
right?
And you make your return to the rotation. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Give him enough time to ramp back up. That's 6, 7 starts. Yeah. Yeah, you're good. Sucks. Look, I would love to get over this hurdle. I would love to get over this hurdle of what Japanese pitchers mean in American baseball. I'd really like for this streak to end of like when, not if. When is the injury, not if. You know what I mean? Like, when are those days gonna be done? So I do feel bad for that, but whatever. It's the Dodgers. You know, we're not allowed to feel that bad for them.
This goes back to what I said.
Except Dustin May. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, that's tough. No, this goes back to what I was saying to start the season. I said you have lost your mind if you think that this is going to be a cakewalk to the World Series for the Dodgers, because stuff like this inevitably happens without fail every single year. Doesn't matter what team, doesn't matter what rotation, doesn't matter what lineup. These kinds of things happen. To what degree they happen, that's a different conversation. But these things happen, and it doesn't matter how many games you're expected to win your division by, or how much of a landslide it's expected to be. These things happen, and rarely does the best team on paper to start the season run the table. We rarely see that. It happens, but we rarely see it. And I just feel like the expectations come for the Dodgers as the best team in baseball were even greater than, and I know I make the call back to the 2018 Red Sox, who were just the best team in baseball. They, for all intents and purposes, ran the table. I mean, arguably the best team in franchise history. The expectations for the 2018 Red Sox are not the same as the expectations for the 2024 Dodgers.
Yeah.
And I just think they're crumbling a little bit under the pressure that they're facing. Dave Roberts has been on the hot seat for what seems like the better half of a decade.
I agree.
So I'm not writing them off. In no way am I writing off the Dodgers.
I think that'd be silly. Yeah.
This is like, we're just seeing it play out. They're just not going to cakewalk to the World Series.
I think, I don't know how far down this path we want to go, but like, I think between revenue sharing and the expansion of postseason teams getting in, I think baseball as a league wide is more competitive than it's ever been. And how deep we are in analytics and how calculated every decision is made in our game at this point. I think baseball is as competitive as we've ever seen. So like, the Mariners in the early 2000s or the Yankees in 98, I don't foresee things like that ever really happening again. I think that's a once in every 30 or 40 years kind of thing moving forward. I think baseball is very even. It's an even playing field more than it's ever been. Don't get me wrong. You still have your Rockies, you still have your A's and your Marlins and your teams that are kind of just picking up the scraps and in a weird place. But overall, like when you look at how good every team can be if their guys are rolling, I think baseball is more competitive than ever. So I think our expectations are just a little weird when it comes to them, but they kind of bring it on themselves in a way. It's LA.
If you could share a one sentence thought on the news of Dallas Keuchel being DFA'd today, what would that sentence be?
That sentence would be,
and I'm gonna fill the role of high school English teacher, and I'm gonna give you the freedom to make it a run-on sentence if you so choose.
All right. Well, I think it's a legitimate sentence. I think it's time to ask your wife if there's any opportunities in TV.
Dude, I'm drawing a blank. Who is he married to?
That Kelly
he's
Nash
married
girl.
to. Yeah. That's
MLB
right.
Network.
MLB Network. That's right. Yeah.
I think it's time to see if your wife can write a recommendation letter for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever like come out and outright say that you dislike Dallas Keuchel. Maybe you have, but is that kind of where you're? Is just kind of eh?
There's just a little. It's the Astros days that still kind of stick with me in my own irrational way.
There were at times
he dominated the Yankees for a few years.
Yeah, there was certainly was a confidence there that existed, and maybe you could make the argument
in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
like it was like, well, I'm all done with you. Please go away. So, but I would, and I'm not saying that in any disrespectful way. I think it's a very good career. I think that's like, I think people can say like, you know what, solid career. You know what I mean? There's names that you can sit there and be like, solid career. Nothing crazy, but you had a decent career. I think it's just time. You know what I mean?
Hey, he got his 10 years. He reached his benchmark. That's a benchmark that a lot of guys.
That's not a
can't
small
reach.
deal. Yeah, that's a huge deal. So, yeah, I just I think it's just that time.
I would agree.
All right, cool.
4 starts with the Brewers. Keuchel posted a 5.40 ERA, gave up 10 runs and 23 hits over 16 2/3.
That's not what you want. Yeah,
made it past the 4th just once.
That's we gave you a shot, and yeah,
it goes back to your point that you made when we talked about him getting picked up by the Brewers. Is like just kind of throwing what you can at the wall, seeing what sticks. Dallas Keuchel,
yep,
doesn't stick.
A lot of teams have opportunities to do that. I respect the Brewers for doing it, for saying why not, because the risk reward here is really a landslide on the reward side if he is good. Risk is it's 4 bad starts. Good riddance. Nice knowing you.
Speaking about a lot of teams, I think we've arrived at the point where want to kind of wrap things up looking at some storylines from the unofficial first half, and then maybe a storyline or two about things that we're looking forward to post All-Star break.
Okay.
So maybe some surprises that have caught your eye. What do you got?
My main surprise is a quiet St. Louis Cardinals somewhat of a turnaround situation going on. You know, I think they're, what did I write down? 3.5 back in the division. Currently sitting at the time of this recording at 50-45. Wanted to just kind of look up some of the like extended numbers stuff. I think they're very much like in like a 85, 87 win ball club if they can add a couple pieces. You know, they're 18-12 in one running games. They're hanging around 5-6 in extra inning games. They're 500 against the East in the NL. They're 15-13 against teams in the Central, 11-9 against the West, 12-11 in interleague play. They're pretty much even against righty lefty. And this is all happening with like a pretty, I would say, of our standards and probably his standards as well, a pretty subpar performance from your corner infielders in Nolan Arenado and Goldschmidt. I think when you look at what they expect themselves to do, that's not this. They're not getting paid for 22 to 26 home runs and 80 RBIs. They're not getting paid for that. They're getting paid for a little bit more. They're getting paid for better leadership, better defense. So the fact that you can look at the St. Louis Cardinals team and say, you know what, 3.5 back, 5 games over, not a great start to the season. Questions around manager. I'm surprised. I'm somewhat impressed. Not like the NL Central is like the greatest league in baseball, but I think I'm pretty impressed. And I think there was a lot of people that were like, you know, that's a pretty old pitching staff that you got going on. And that was a lot of the offseason talk. And I think pitching is what's kind of got them there. So
you're taking the over for 500 or better ball for the Cardinals.
I think they're in a position where they could add and they could try to fill some holes in a smart way. I think they are. And I think that they could, if they keep on this stretch, I think they could. I wouldn't be surprised if they drop off, especially if these 2 years don't turn around. But yeah.
I don't know if I ever updated you guys on that, but I still get notifications on that Ollie Marmol rant we went on where we predicted the date he was going to get fired.
Yeah.
And this was like over a year ago at this point.
Yeah.
And I still get comments where it's like, who's watching this on like June 12th? And it's like, and he's still with the team. Who's watching this on like July 6th? But
it's fair.
You know,
I wouldn't say I was the only one saying that. I'm not going to sit here and say like I was, I'm on an island here. I think
we were both making our predictions on when he was going to get fired because at the time I think that was the right take.
Were thinking that too. So it's like, just saying.
Yeah,
not a crazy thought. What's your surprise though for Seth?
Call me a homer, whatever. But
that's a fair one. I'll give you a hall pass here. This is a fair one.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like you gotta show some love to the Sox. Not you as a Yankees fan, but just generally speaking, gotta show some love to the Sox. Actually just closed out a series win against the Royals, who we gave some love to earlier in this episode. You're currently sitting at 11. You're going into the All-Star break 11 games over 500. 11 games. You're 4.5 games back from the division lead.
Yeah.
Like the conversation when this team finally started to get hot, when they stopped tinkering and flirting with the whole 500 Sox thing, you'd win a game, you'd lose a game. When they decided to actually kick it into next gear, the narrative quickly, and like, say what you will, say it's a gimmick, say it's a joke, the narrative has legitimately shifted, I believe, in that clubhouse to forget the wild card.
Yeah.
While the Yankees and O's are like kicking themselves, like each other, throughout the remainder of the season. Let's take the division. You're 4.5 games back. I'm of the belief they've done enough to warrant buying at the deadline. There's still conversations coming from the front office talking about, well, we need to pick a lane. I don't know what more this team needs to do to convince the front office that this is a team that you need to invest in.
That's what I was going to ask. And this isn't like, I'm not trying to slight in any way. Like I don't disagree at all. I'm very surprised. I think a lot of people are. Two questions. Are they only a few moves away? And truthfully, to your core, understanding baseball, not with bias, but understanding what rosters you've seen be able to do this type of stuff to make it all the way and hoist a trophy. Do they have that after a couple moves? And my second question is, does this front office have the balls to make those moves? Go.
I saw this team do what they did. They were a few calls away from advancing to the World Series in 2021. You and I witnessed that team take down the Yankees in the wild card game and go on to take down the Rays and quite nearly take down the Astros that year. I see a lot of similarities in terms of expectations coming into the year and then how things panned out at the deadline and even post deadline. We haven't gotten to that point this year, obviously, but I can see things trending that way. But it comes down to the front office, and the optimistic side of me wants to think that they're going to be able to pull the trigger because they've seen how frustrated the fan base has been the last 22, 23, those couple seasons where just a complete letdown. And you're seeing now with the way that they've been playing, the interest is back a little bit with this club, not just in the city, but just like their fans in general. And they're finally getting some love nationally. Like I know I have a particular beef with power rankings. And I think it's just engagement bait, but like the Sox are in those conversations because of how well they've been playing.
Yeah.
But the realistic side of me thinks that I just don't like, they may make a move here or there just to kind of check the box, but I don't think they're truly gonna take a leap because they just don't. I don't think they completely believe in this team this year.
Are they done with Cora? Is the front office just over him?
I think no. I don't
not
think
wanting for him to succeed. I'm very confused.
I don't know. I don't think they're done with him. I think he's done with them. He's
really?
going. You brought me back after the suspension and everything.
Yeah.
You brought me back to win a World Series, and you have done nothing to support that mission. And I just think he's fed up with it.
Contract wise, this is it?
This is it, yeah.
He's going to get paid wherever he wants to go. I'm curious to see where he would go. I'm really curious. Like a win now.
I would love to see them do enough this year to convince him to stay because I mean, he's on the wall back here. I got him on the shelf. Yeah. It's like Cora is just on another level when it comes to managers, but I just think regardless, I think what happens this year, I think he's decided in his mind that he's out. But just a little bonus surprise. Bonus surprise for the unofficial first half that I had written down is the National League East. Just kind of generally, more so like the top half of it. We're talking Phillies, Braves, Mets. Pleasant surprise, I think or I shouldn't say pleasant, refreshing surprise is to see the Phillies kind of dominate the conversation coming out of the division. I mean, as we very well know, the Braves have dominated that conversation for some time now. But I mean, we're looking at a Phillies team that is currently 62-34. They're nearly 30 games over 500. They're 28 games.
Yeah.
If my math serves me correctly, over 500. That's just insane. And to see not necessarily a pedestrian year coming out of Atlanta. They're 10 games over 500. That's right. I mean, that's notable.
Not up to their standards, but yeah.
But
not
even
what they're capable of, but considering the circumstances.
But even more surprised than that, I think, is the Mets just kind of hanging around in a year that, again,
3 games over 500.
They were not expected to compete. They said it themselves. Max Scherzer made it very clear. He made it known. They told me they're not competing in 2024. And here they are just kind of hanging around.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I go a quick bonus surprise?
Sure.
Real quick. No stats, no numbers really.
Sure.
Quick bonus surprise is the Diamondbacks turning it around a little bit. Like this last 2 weeks or so. I think they're 7-3 in their last 10. And like they seem like they're kind of playing better baseball. So just a quick little surprise there. That like 6.5 back from the Dodgers is like, I think I'm okay in this position. I think I'm feeling okay. You know, and that's they're competing, and like they're competing with teams like Braves, Cardinals, obviously, you know, the Padres, and I think the Mets can kind of be in that conversation with them. All these teams of like the last spot could be ours. So I'm curious to see. But anyway, I'm surprised by what I've seen out of the Diamondbacks just recently, mainly.
And isn't Corbin Carroll like kind of slowly turning it around?
Once I traded him, he was like, you know,
I'll try. He's showing some signs at least of turning around. I think
it really bugs me. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm smarter than major league hitting coaches, but it really, really bugs me. It really bugs me that there's some coaches that don't see this man that has been overstriding by miles wider than what he was last year. And it's like there hasn't been a fix at all. The man can't get on top of a baseball to save his life. Anyway. Sorry, said that was going to be quick.
Hoping nothing but the best for Corbin. I think baseball's better when he's lighting it up on all sides of the ball.
Shorten your stride a little bit, dude.
Storyline we're looking forward to, or I'm looking forward to in the unofficial second half is, and I mentioned it, I guess like a few episodes ago, is getting to see how long this NL playoff logjam lasts. Mm-hmm. I put out a post, I think like a week or two ago at this point, and it still remains true. 13 of the 15 National League teams either hold or are within 6 games of a playoff spot. 13.
This is Manfred Major League Baseball.
And again, I know I feel like we just had this conversation recently, but it's the fact that we're at the deadline or at the break and it still remains true is just mind-boggling to me. And I think it's going to make I'm not going to say, because we already talked about how the expanded postseason, I think, has negatively impacted the trade deadline.
Yeah.
But I think it will, at the very least, make for an interesting last couple months.
Yeah. Sure.
Or last couple months of the regular season. So that's kind of the storyline I'm looking at. Because again, you mentioned teams like the Mets, the D-backs, where it's like, well, you didn't really know what you were going to get out of them. For some of these teams, you didn't even really think they were going to be in the conversation. But here we are again at the All-Star break, and they're still floating around. Pirates, for example, currently a game and a half out of a wild card spot.
Throw the Reds in there,
I mean, I can
throw a lot of teams.
I'll run through the list here. Nats 6 games out, and again, this is at the very second that I'm looking at the standings. I know some games are wrapping up here to finish the weekend, but currently the Nats are 6 games out. Giants 3.5, Cubs 3.5, Reds 3, Pirates 1.5, Padres half, D-backs half, and then you got the Braves, Cardinals, and Mets holding down the wild card spots. It's going to be an interesting couple of months.
Yeah, I love that. Dang, yours is better than mine. And also you told me to be positive. I'm trying to be positive, but like now that I'm reading it and I want to say it out loud, it feels a little negative. It feels a little condescending. Is Cleveland good, or are they just really good at home? Have you seen the home road splits?
I don't think it's condescending. I think it's a valid question.
Like, I'm not trying to be a hater.
No.
They're 30-11 at the moment at home and 28-26 on the road. I think they're doing what they should be doing. That you're doing what you are supposed to do. If you can hang around 500 on the road, great. I'm asking, is this real? Are you real?
Well, let me ask you this.
Is there like, what is it? The regress to means. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's big time right there.
Regress to the mean
look at you.
Who you truly are. That's what I'm curious about.
Well, let me ask you this. If you were the manager of a major league ball club and I said you get to the All-Star break and you're over 500 on the road. I don't care that it's only by 2 games.
Yeah.
If I said you were playing over 500 ball on the road, would you be happy with that?
I think if I was this good on the road or this good at home, yeah. You know? I mean,
but even then, even if you weren't as good as they are at home, which again, 30-11, that is insanely good.
Yeah.
Even if, say you were just 500 across the board.
Yeah.
To go back to the point we were just talking about with the expanded postseason, if you're 500 on both sides of you get what I'm saying. Both sides of the ball, meaning home and on the road. You're in the mix. You're in the conversation.
All I'm saying is that, like, when you look at if we look at kind of those power rankings, those unofficial power rankings that you were talking about, the Orioles are 28-16 on the road. They're 12 games over 500 on the road. The Yankees are 12 games over 500 on the road. The Red Sox are 12 games over 500 on the road. Right? Phillies, 7 games over 500 on the road. The Dodgers, 6. I'm not trying to be a hater. I just don't feel like the Guardians are real. I don't think this is legit. And that's what I'm looking. That's what I'm watching for. Anyway.
That's valid.
I'm not ready to answer that question. I'm ready to just see if that question gets answered for me with how they do.
That's a very, very interesting storyline, and I'll certainly have my eye on that as well. But to your point about those other teams that are much better on the road, Orioles, for example, over 500 at home, but they're 30-22. The Red Sox, a game under 500 at home. Mm-hmm. That, to me,
that's weird.
Is more alarming. You need to be taking care of your business at home.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're maybe sliding a little bit on the road, that's understandable. It's the road. That's kind of how these things are supposed to go. You're supposed to play better at home. But the Guardians are doing both. They're playing exceptionally well at home, and they're over 500 on the road.
They're good enough on the road. Sure.
I'm not really worried about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just curious.
Sorry, I didn't mean to come at you like
no.
I wasn't trying to sound like aggressive, but I'm just trying, like, for Guardians fans, for example, like if they're kind of thinking along the same lines, like, oh man, like, do we think this is legit?
I'm not. Yeah, I think this is a great position to be in.
Yeah,
I think I'd be thrilled if I'm a Guardians fan. Let's face it. They're tied for second or third of the best record in baseball. Like, I'd feel great about that.
Tied for second best record in baseball with the O's.
Yeah. So I'm just curious to see if where the means. Are you gonna kind of come back down to earth when you're at home? Are you overperforming on the road? I'm just interested to see if this team is legit. And then I do think they add. Which is crazy because everyone at the beginning of the year was like, you guys better move Bieber. You better move Bieber. And I know he's out, but, like, even more to that conversation. It's like they're still doing this. So, yeah. Note, by the way, around the Guardians, not kind of just separate random note. Corey Kluber doing a podcast now. It's kind of interesting.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I did not catch that.
I would have never guessed. I would have never guessed you to do a podcast, Mr. Kluber. But hey, good for you, guy. I saw him laugh and smile a few times, and I was like, hold on.
Am I off base by guessing that the name has to do with Cluebot?
I think it is exactly that. I'm not sure.
I gotta confirm.
Look up
because that's got to be the most predictable.
Yeah,
Corey Kluber podcast.
No free ads, but whatever. He's a Major League Baseball player, former.
I'm not seeing. Hold on.
He Judge was just on there with him, and then I think I saw an interview that he did with Jose Batista. He has like another host.
The Casa de Club? Is that what I'm seeing?
Oh,
what?
That's fire. Maybe Kluber's just like a under the radar cool
dude.
Ass
That's
dude.
it. Casa de Club. That's more creative than I thought it was.
Maybe he's just an under the radar cool guy.
Casa de Club. I like that. All right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Again, no free ads.
Yeah.
Not trying to push you guys to another podcast, but hopefully you guys.
Yeah. Anyway,
stick around with us.
It was just weird that I was like, that's the last guy I would have expected to do a podcast when he was done.
Wild. Yeah. How you feeling? I feel
good.
I know we're deep here, but this is the last episode.
This is 450. You know what I'm saying? This is
450, and I know we're deep, but people will have plenty of time before game action resumes to.
This is true. This is true.
Consume this podcast. Do we want to close out with a little game?
Yes, we do.
A little guess up player.
You remember the rule? First player cannot be someone that we've named today.
Okay. That's a good reminder because I probably would have forgotten. Okay. A little bit of guess that player. And as a reminder, or if you're new, first of all, welcome. Second of all, the goal of this game, it's a popular game, but it's the goal of the game is to say the same player at the same time, and you're trying to land on the same player using
within
context clues. Yeah, within 10 tries, using context clues of the names.
The connection of the names,
Connection of the names that were previously guessed in the previous attempt.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't make sense, you'll see here.
Yeah.
Shout out Hank. Hank in the chat is pumped that we're closing out with the game. I love it. And he also asked, by the way, he said, "Is this last episode in A's Gear?" Yes.
This it is, Hank.
This is it. And
you want to purchase this? It is up for bid when we go on to streaming tomorrow.
You can reach out to the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, and you can discuss details with them. It will be there in display.
And it won't be washed.
And I had, again, to revisit the whole shouldn't he have to wear it for the Home Run Derby live stream? No. Absolutely not.
Some would say that,
I paid my dues. I paid my dues with this. I didn't miss an episode in this.
I would just like to go back to maybe the receipts and just see if we said All-Star Game or All-Star Break. I'd just like to see if maybe that was.
It doesn't matter. It probably
it's a bonus pod. It's not really a full.
That's
pod.
my point. We said every episode.
It's not.
It's not a technicality. It's literally
technicality.
It's what it means. We said whether it was break or All-Star Game. The fact that it's a bonus live stream for the Home Run Derby. Let's
put a statement out though. Let's put a statement out is that there was no Home Run Derby stream when the bet was made. That wasn't on the table yet. So I'm just going to say, maybe we just take it to the judicial system and see what the jury says.
No, I'm all about democracy, but in this case, we're dealing with a dictatorship. I'm making the call. I'm not wearing it during the live stream. Not wearing it during the live stream. All right.
So good.
Let's get to this game. All right. The first guest cannot be a name that we've already discussed this episode.
And this is just the first one. This is just the first one. Then after that, it's free reign.
Yep. All right.
And you also can't repeat names as a reminder rule as well.
Yeah. Okay.
This long? It's the first guy.
I know, but there's The more we play
the
more we play this, the more that I'm realizing that like the first guess can really like
set us up.
Like if you're way off the rails, you kind of screw yourself. But if you can kind of keep it within a certain sweet spot. Okay, I got a guy.
I got a guy. I switched a guy when you were saying that.
That's fair.
I felt a gut feeling and I switched it up.
That's fine. I got a guy. I actually switched up in my mind. I had a guy that I said, as I'm rambling, I'm going to switch. So I got a guy. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Julio Rodriguez. I was really hoping we said the same name there. That's a mic drop.
Wild.
Head into the break.
So Christian Walker and Julio Rodriguez. Christian Walker and Mr. Julio. This is tough. How you doing?
I got a guy.
All right, I got a guy. You feel good? I feel decent.
The logic's loose here. This is one of my fast and loose logic guesses, but I'm gonna roll with it. 3, 2, 1.
Ty France.
Corbin Carroll.
It came across my brain. It really did.
I think we took similar approaches there. We just ended up on other sides of the, okay.
It really did.
All right, Corbin.
Can't repeat names here.
Corbin Carroll and Ty France. Oh, I got a guy. I got a guy.
You got a guy.
Yeah, think.
Corbin Carroll and Ty France. Corbin Carroll and Ty France.
Okay, well, I may need to revise here. We're 2 guesses in, by the way.
Corbin Carroll and Ty France.
Yeah, I'm just going to roll with it.
Corbin Carroll and Ty France. I'm struggling. I don't feel great. Let's go.
3, 2, 1. Eugenio Suarez. Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
I mean, that my logic's pretty solid there. That's very, very obvious.
Mariner and Diamondback for sure.
Eugenio Suarez and Ichiro. I don't know where we go from here.
I got a guy.
No, you don't. Yeah, I got a guy. This is guess number 4. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Kenny Lofton.
Randy Johnson.
What was yours? What was that logic? For Mariner or Diamondback again? You're still on that path?
It's not in the spirit of the game necessarily. It's more like team based rather than player based. But I was hoping you could just meet me there. But you clearly you missed the.
I went a fast little lefty that played for the Reds because Suarez played for the Reds. So
Kenny Lofton and who?
Randy Johnson.
Okay.
We're in that era. That could work. Hanging out in that.
All right.
Kenny Lofton. Okay. Oh, wait. No. Wrong guy.
All right. I got a guy.
Really?
Yeah. That was 4 guesses. This is number 5.
Kenny Lofton and Randy Johnson. You got a guy, huh?
Yep.
I don't think I got a guy. It all comes down to like what Kenny Lofton you think about, you know? What Randy Johnson do you think about?
Maybe I'm not even thinking about Kenny Lofton necessarily.
No, that's
I am
crazy.
No,
All
I
right.
am.
All right, let's roll.
Is it illegal if we're kind of like sharing our logic after each guess? I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
because I like explain.
I don't hate it.
I like explaining my logic so people can at least see the connection that was made.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. I think,
but I don't want that to influence the future pick.
Well,
you get what I'm saying?
It sometimes doesn't, because it's like those two names could be really far off.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. All right. Well, I got a guy.
It can't be based on all the names we've been working on. It's supposed to be based on the last two names.
Did we just make our fifth pick, or is this still the fifth pick?
This is five.
This is still 5. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're dealing with Kenny Lofton and
Randy Johnson.
All right.
You ready?
I got a guy. 3,
All right, I gotta go.
2, 1.
Ken
Barry
Griffey
Bonds.
Jr.
All right. Backyard baseball characters. Or no, wait, hold on. Yeah, no, Kenny Lofton was definitely a backyard, right?
Yeah,
I'm not crazy.
As an Indian.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
I need to confirm.
You're
Kenny
good.
Lofton, backyard baseball.
I love playing with Kenny Lofton, man.
Oh yeah, definitely in there.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the big old noggin with Chief Wahoo on the lid. Yeah. I definitely remember that. Okay. That's funny.
But Barry Bonds and Ken Griffey Jr.
I mean,
I feel like we're working well.
we're right there. All right. Let's
I
not
went
lose
with
this.
I went with like fast lefty center fielder with Mariner days of Randy Johnson. That was my thought process there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's an excellent pick. Okay, Barry Bonds and Ken Griffey Jr. I mean,
I could go somewhere, but I feel like I could really mess things up. I don't want to go too crazy with that, because that really just kind of ends us. So I don't think I will.
I'm gonna go.
I gotta find a new name.
I got a guy. Got a guy.
I don't love my guy.
Well, you can change it. We're 5 picks in. We got 5 picks left.
All right.
Remember that feeling I had when a couple games ago we lost the last one, but the one 2 times ago where I had a feeling we were going to pull it out. Yeah. I have that feeling. Today.
I have bad news. I lost my guy, so I definitely need to come up with a new guy.
What are we? Are we 1-3? Is our record 1-3?
Yeah, I'm back to my guy. I think maybe.
I don't like that I don't like the sound of you like overthinking this a little bit.
I'm a lot of overthinking it. There's a lot of that in there. Yeah,
it's not great. Okay, well,
maybe I'll walk it back for a sec. Maybe I'll walk it back.
I mean, this one kind of just seems.
It seems like in your face.
That's just me.
All right.
he says, all right. That's not exactly the most reassuring face, but
I feel like I could go a couple different routes here, and I don't feel great about any of them.
Well, that sucks because we're about as close as we're gonna get. I mean,
if
we're playing Battleship right now, I mean, we're freaking
like
splashing all around the ships.
What am I missing here? What am I missing?
I mean, just I'll give you the advice I always give you. Just think.
Let's roll.
Oh man, I feel like you're gonna kick yourself out of this. All right, 3, 2, 1. Willie Mays.
McCutcheon. I literally was going to say Willie Mays.
Why didn't you say Willie Mays?
Because I was
talking about two. Say what you will about Bonds. We're talking
rewind what I said. I was like, if I open that door, we could be screwed.
Well, you shouldn't have opened that door.
That's what I was saying, because I'm like, once we go back there, it's like we're.
Oh, you're saying the Willie Mays door?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
okay.
That's why I was like, I'm not going to go that, because that. But I think we're okay. Andrew McCutchen and Willie Mays. Let's roll. I'm nailed it. I'm so confident right here. I feel great. I feel great. I feel great. I think you need to feel great. I think you need to feel great. I think you need to feel great.
I think you need to think about what's already been. I think you need to think about what's already been said.
I think you need to feel great about this.
I think not. You think I need to feel great about this?
I think you do.
Willie Mays and Andrew McCutchen?
Yeah.
What? Okay, I got a name, but okay. All right. What are we, 6 deep now? This is 7?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Roberto Clemente. Let's go.
Yes. I told you.
I thought you were going to lay a bonds on me, and we were going to get that. Needs to be a new rule, by the way. If we have a repeat, that's like a stroke penalty. That's a stroke penalty.
No repeats. We lose. Yeah, we lose a guess.
I thought you were going to drop a bonds on me, and I was like, we literally just said bonds. Like, how you're not remembering this?
I just went
worried.
with legend Pirates. You know, that was my logic.
Which, by the way, if bonds hadn't been stated, I mean, that would have been set on a tee for us. If we got Willie Mays and Andrew McCutchen, come on.
I am really, yeah.
Well
I'm
done.
I know how we were getting close because I had Willie Mays, and then I said it out loud. I was like, if I open that door, there's no coming back. So good for us.
Glad we bounced back.
Good for us, I think that's 2 and 3.
2 and 3. I think that's our because the first win we got was all 10, right?
I think it was 10, on the last guess. It was Justin Morneau on the last.
Justin Morneau.
Last guess.
So that was our 7th. That's the record to beat.
The name that player Hall of Fame right now is Roberto Clemente and Justin Morneau. Those are good names.
I like that. I like the Hall of Fame. I like that. That's good.
Yeah. Those are good names in the wins, in the win column.
Keep a running list. I like that. The name that player Hall of Fame. I'm a big fan. Very cool. I
Love
like that.
Good stuff.
What a way to go into the break. Well, not quite. I mean, we're heading into the break, but as a reminder, come hang out with us for the Home Run Derby. We'll be talking ball, giving away cash, giving away prizes for the Home Run Derby. Come hang out with us on.
Maybe some pizza.
Maybe some pizzas. Definitely some pizzas.
I'll maybe make some hot dogs. I think I am, actually. Do you want to do a little hot dog thing going? Maybe if we have Ryan on, if he would respond to us, if he didn't big league us. Just kidding. He's in Italy for a wedding.
He's coming back from Italy tonight, I think. Or tomorrow, maybe, I think.
But still, if my man comes in with hot dogs, that'd be great. That'd be a great time. He might not make hot dogs, but I will make hot dogs. If you're in, can you commit to the hot dog thing for me?
That's tough, dude, because I'm going to be sitting on a plane at like 7 a.m. the next morning. That's going to be brutal for the people around me.
I think you got to do it for the people.
I think I've done enough for the people with this polo for the last 2 months.
Hot dog burp problem? You think they carry over that much?
That's less than 12 hours, dude. That forget the next day. That's less than 12 hours. Like, the body doesn't care what time of the day it is. That's less than 12 hours.
Here's the rule is that you get a Coke, you drink that with your hot dogs, you get the burps out as we're eating. I think those burps are out of your system in 12 hours. I'd like to think so. If not, we may have to talk to some doctors.
Yeah, we may need to. All right. Well, we'll discuss. We'll discuss.
I won't say out of your system, but it's out of the burp system. You know what I mean? It's then moved into a different category. Hopefully before your flight.
We'll discuss off air what's going to be going down. Anyway, come hang out with us for the Home Run Derby. Other than that, I don't think you guys will be hearing from us because I'll be out of town. We'll be in Colorado.
Yeah, I don't think we need an All-Star game recap anyway.
You won't be hearing from us probably, I mean, post live stream, of course, but you probably won't hear a pod until a week from today, I guess, probably next Sunday. So
yeah,
I think we deserved a little bit of a break. I don't think we maybe missed like one episode this regular season thus far.
Yeah. Did good. Well, I had a honeymoon, but
Oh, true. Well, like, yeah, obviously.
You did well. You
did
good. Yeah.
Post coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Love it. Come hang out tomorrow. Don't go chasing curveballs.
We love you all, and as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.